Hey guys, Jacob from My Biohack, and I had a question here that was asked. Why do I have a connective tissue disorder all of a sudden? And why do people with connective tissue disorders have it off much worse after a post-viral challenge like COVID? All right, so let's go to the board because it's very clear how this works. So here we have a healthy endothelial system. I'm just going to talk about the endothelial system and then we could just talk about the ligamentous tissue after. Okay. So this is what it looks like in a healthy tissue. We've got red blood cells here. Red blood cells are able to freely flow because they have a negative charge on their cholesterol sulfate. And the glycocalyx has a negative charge as well. So they clearly go that way. And you've got like albumin and HDL and smooth muscles. The shear stress on the glycocalyx from the red blood cells causes muscle cells to either vasodilate or vasoconstrict. And this is what it looks like in a normal, healthy blood vessel. And these red blood cells are able to easily give oxygen and glucose to the cells. So you're aerobic. Now, this is what it looks like when you are infected. I tried to draw it out a little bit better. So if you have an infection here, let's go back to this. Your glycocalyx is normally should have this charge and stuff, but instead of HDL, you get LDL produced by the liver. Macrophages will start to produce. So macrophages, they eat up stuff. They go through phagocytosis. That's the primary part of your innate immune system, is to eat up all these guys by creating opsonins, things that create a better static charge. And, these guys, they have their own glycocalyx layers, negative charges on it. Evolution is wild. This is just a stock photo, so like this is not completely accurate. Like I don't know what kind of parasite or amoeba that is. But anyway, your macrophages will produce what are called MMPs and hyaluronidase. And essentially they cut sugar structures. And the ability to cut the sugar structures changes the polarity of these macrophages being able to stick easily to these guys, right? And eat them up. But these guys can get out of hand and they can destroy your own glycocalyx, and cause free-floating shedding of the glycocalyx. And this is a whole downstream process of platelet aggregation and other things like that, and albumin excess, and creating foam cells, etc. But the question is, why do I have a connective tissue disorder all of a sudden? So let's take a look at one of these guys. So I'm just going to paste them right here. And here we have this guy. This guy here is probably what would be, let's name him as well. We'll call him either HA-ase or MMPs. And hyaluronidase and metallomatrix proteins are able to cut into these things. The point of cutting into this is so that these phagocytes can get past the tight junctions. They can create an electrostatic charge and be able to bind to them. But there's a collateral damage that happens to us in the process. And a lot of ligamentous tissues are made up of things that can be easily broken down by hyaluronidase, such as hyaluronic acid, okay? Or other glycosaminoglycans. Like other glycosaminoglycans you probably heard before are in connective tissue. And people build those up with like glucosamine and chondroitin sulfate. Like those are all the reasons why there is such disorder in connective tissue. And mast cells, they just come in to try to save the day. So you'll see hand in hand with, how do I switch back to me? Hand in hand back to major inflammation, especially post-viral, along with these MMPs. So you can get your like MMP9 levels checked, especially if you've had like CIRS, chronic inflammatory response syndrome. And you also see the breakdown of the collagen and ligaments, and why people who have EDS have a much harder time challenges against viral illnesses, or people with connective tissues, or people who are hypermobile. I mean, I'm hypermobile. I can like lick my elbow. I can create hand things as well. So I get it. I understand it firsthand what it's like to have a connective tissue disorder, but I also understand the mechanism why. And if you want to know the repair processes on how to fix these and get this working properly, dampening the MMP and hyaluronidase response and building back those tissues and essentially fortifying yourself against against viruses so that if you have an immune challenge like this with a major inflammatory challenge with phagocytes, I have a whole guide. It's called Junction Dysfunction. It talks about all this kind of stuff. Mybiohack.com, and you can look it up, or you can just go to junctiondysfunction.com. A whole guide there, and I hope to see you guys there. Tons of resources and actionable steps on what to do about this kind of stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you watching this video and learning about why people have connective tissue disorders after a viral issue, or why people with connective tissue disorders have harder times recovering after a virus or inflammatory challenge. And it really means a lot that you're watching this. So thank you guys, and stay beautiful.